Hi everyone, this is Laura. I'm the CEO of VMV Hypoallergenics. We're here to save the world's skin with the safest, most proven effective care on the planet. And how we do that is by omitting most or all of the top contact allergens as published by independent contact dermatitis experts in peer-reviewed dermatology journals. And we have a proprietary grading system that shows you immediately how many allergens are not in a formulation and if there is one. So you actually see it on the front of all of our products there, the VH number. And if there were an allergen in here, it would be less. It would be VH minus 108 over 109, and then there would be an asterisk that corresponds to the ingredients list. So you can see if it's an allergen that you patch tested positive for, because if it isn't, you can still use the product. This system, the validated hypoallergenic rating system, has proven so effective that we have a great study on it published in the leading contact dermatitis journal showing less than 0.1% reactions, not less than 1%, less than 0.1% reactions in over 30 years. And in terms of clinical efficacy, we publish our clinical studies regularly. Thanks to my mom, who's our founding dermatopathologist, we have over 75. She herself is over 200 or so. So we take safety and efficacy very, very seriously. Before I get started, please don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for lots of content, which you can also find on vmvinskin.com, our blog. And if there's anything that you'd like to shop from us, our products are validated hypoallergenic products, many of which contain our monolaurin and clinically published certified organic virgin coconut oil. You can do so at vmvhypoallergenics.com and vmvhypoallergenics.ph. Today I will be talking to you about skin and hair and sport. So for many of us, trying to get fit is already difficult enough. Just trying to find time to squeeze in an hour for our health, or I don't know, just finding it hard, right? To get motivated, to get fit can be challenge enough. And then if you add to that hair problems, skin problems, it's just more obstacles to getting fit. The good news is getting fit is actually good for our skin. This helps with circulation, which helps flush out infection, helps with a great sort of internal natural glow, and inflammation, how our bodies work. We have this balance, right? Everything in our bodies is basically balanced. So we need a balance of pro-inflammatory and anti-inflammatory stuff. And exercise provides the good pro-inflammatory stuff. So it is really rather important that we do that. Some of the more common things that we see with people who are getting fit or who are swimming or doing different types of sport or working out, top would be acne and acne-like lesions. The other would be fungal infections, warts and other sort of viral infections, and strain on the hair shaft, strain on the hair, maybe even hair loss from traction alopecia. And of course, sunburn and hyperpigmentation, chafing, hyperpigmentation from chafing. Also sweating, excessive sweating, like for people with hyperhidrosis, for example, or who sweat under and beneath areas, like under the beard, under the scalp, under the bra, behind the legs, and that sort of thing. If you already have really dry skin or an inflammatory skin condition like psoriasis or atopic dermatitis, there can be other challenges, right, to working out, from, for example, dealing with clothing that can have a lot of your allergens, in which case a patch test would be really helpful. So I'll get into that a little bit today. Certainly if you have a skin condition that you think is worsened by your fitness efforts, by your exercising, let me know and we'll make sure to answer that. Before we get into the skin and hair stuff, maybe just some quick information about how we should be working out. Before it used to be, just 3 times a week was enough, or, do something super intense that was like borderline going to make you faint as much as possible. And we now know that's not true. There are several studies now that show that regularity is actually more important than intensity. So if you can fit in 30 to 45 minutes even of walking 7 days a week, that's actually better than 3 days a week of hyper intense training for a triathlon or spinning or whatever, and then nothing the rest of the week. If you happen to be an elite athlete or really, really pushing it, right? Triathlons, long distance mega races, sort of CrossFit type intensity, do watch out for signs of becoming immunocompromised. Certainly what we've seen with some of our clients, what my mother has seen with some of her patients, is that people who are really training at that level can sometimes become immunocompromised, in which case everything from acne to warts, viral infections, other types of inflammation become really, really difficult to treat. So sometimes that'll need to come down in order for an infection or another skin problem or hair problem to subside a little so that it can be treated successfully. So that's just something to look out for. So first off, with acne, you can definitely just have acne, sort of regular old acne. You can also, which we see a lot of, is have what used to be called pityrisporum folliculitis and now is called Malassezia folliculitis, aka sweat acne, which isn't an acne, it's actually a folliculitis. So sweat acne, sweat folliculitis, is from a fungus called Malassezia. Malassezia lives naturally in our skins, very happily, in balance with our other bugs, right? We have a healthy microbiome. But Malassezia tends to enjoy feeding on sweat, which sounds disgusting, but it isn't. That's just the way our bodies work. So sometimes, as with me, I'm a hyper sweaty person, Malassezia can get a little excited and kind of overtake and clog pores and cause this folliculitis. All of the classic things that you would do to prevent acne and treat it, which I cover actually in a video that we did, it's super helpful, would apply to sweat acne, sweat folliculitis as well. And that would start with, for example, making sure you use a non-comedogenic, non-acnegenic shampoo and conditioner. Because remember, and body wash, because remember that, especially as you sweat, right, comedogens and allergens can trickle down your forehead, cheeks, neck. So if you're seeing a lot of acne lesions there, that could be because of your hair care, actually trickling down with sweat and clogging pores. So that was Superwash that I showed. It's a great option, makes you feel really nice and clean after working out, and you can use it multiple times because it's gentle and allergen free. And a quick note, comedogens just clog a pore, right? So they build up slowly and they clog a pore that can then become inflamed, infected, and be acne. Allergens don't clog a pore necessarily the way that comedogens do, but they can irritate the pore, which can then cause inflammation and infection. So non-comedogenic, non-allergenic is important if acne is a concern. This is also important, something like Superwash, because it does contain monolaurin, is non-drying, and won't sort of upset the skin's natural microbiota. And I glanced over non-drying because we're talking about acne now, but that's important too for not drying out already dry skin further. Same thing would apply to your conditioner. Essence conditioner is probably your best bet, and you can use Essence Superwash for your body cleansing. I personally really enjoy ID Body Scrub. This is a lovely body cleanser that has nice scrubs on it that are not too scrubby that they would be irritating, but to me, I really like it, and I find it also really helps with my sweat folliculitis. So I would use Essence, Superwash for my hair and conditioner, and then ID Body Scrub for my body, for body cleansing. Any of our cleansers are a great idea, so you would follow your regular VMV regimen for your face, but key in terms of the bumps from working out would be ID monolaurin gel, right? This is sort of the main thing, which has monolaurin, which addresses not just bacteria, but also fungi and viruses. So no matter really what the cause is of your bumpy situation, ID monolaurin gel is a great idea. It also keeps the skin cool, and so helps prevent sweating a little bit. And remember, especially if it is Malassezia, Malassezia feeds on sweat. So the more you can get that sweat under control, the better. Another type of non-acne but bump that bumpy situation that you kind of need to look out for, especially if you're going to be working out in a gym, is community-acquired infections like staph, MRSA, that sort of thing. If you see something that looks like a boil, a very infected, large cystic lesion, don't dismiss it. Certainly apply Idmonolaurin gel, apply Boo Balm. That can totally be helpful, but if it is extremely infected, very, very sore and large and inflamed, you do want to see a doctor about that because it might need other urgent care, right? Or even a culture to make sure that you know the bug that you're dealing with. These same products that I discussed are great for fungal infections in the feet, in other areas of the body that can happen sometimes with swimming. And again, a lot of this sometimes happens with an imbalance in the microbiota. So sometimes these bumpy situations or fungal infections can happen because of over disinfecting. So it's a little bit of it's a tricky thing, right? You go to a gym and you want to disinfect because you want to prevent community-acquired infections and whatnot. So you use a lot of alcohol and bleaches and things like this. That can actually cause more of an imbalance in the skin's microbiota. And then you have other things to deal with. You have maybe Demodex mites that are, a little excited. Fungus gets too excited, and we now need to control that. So one of the things we often recommend is get away from traditional, really, really harsh disinfectants and antibiotics and things like that, and go for monolaurin, virgin coconut oil, just vinegar for disinfection of your workout area, of your hands and your skin after, especially if you're using a public shower. Wear your slippers, and make sure at the end of everything you apply your monolaurin and you apply your virgin coconut oil head to toe to help prevent those infections without causing more of a microbial imbalance in your skin. A top tip is to prioritize air circulation. A lot of these bugs tend to really like warm, moist areas. So take your shoes off and your socks off as quickly as possible. If you have to wear tight clothing, don't keep them on all day after working out. Try not to work out in makeup. Even our makeup, which is great and non-comedogenic and non-allergenic, it's just an added layer that maybe you don't need because we don't need so much occlusion that can cause this climate to stay longer, which is hot and humid and moist, right? And that is sort of where a lot of things can grow that we don't want. Talking a little bit about skin for swimmers, again, because of the amount of chemicals that you're exposed to, there are a few things that can happen. Compromisation of the skin's barrier layer, which is extremely important. Also that imbalance of the skin's microbiota. So we do see, we even see things like a sensitivity to chlorine, which is a halogen. So we might see like halogen dermatitis and things like that. Some key tips that can be helpful. Number one, when you get out of a pool, make sure to rinse quickly after, maybe with superwash, but just get all those chemicals off of you. And number two would be think about healthy barriers for your skin. So apply virgin coconut oil. For your hair barrier might be applying virgin coconut oil or our essence conditioner or petrolatum like Boo Balm to your hair before swimming, if the pool will allow that. And using a swim cap can help protect those shafts and whatnot, but be careful with the swim cap because they're usually rubberized. So if you have patch tested positive for rubber, that might be a problem unless you put a cloth first to serve as a barrier. Also, if hair loss is a concern, remember traction alopecia, ballerina baldness, right? Anything that's pulling on those follicles so much could be contributing to the hair loss. So if that is a concern, look at your swim cap and see if that is contributing to the hair loss. In terms of your skin, when you come out of the water and you rinse, you want to make sure to take care of that barrier layer of the skin very quickly. So after your gentle wash with something like Superwash or Clark Wash or Cool and Clean, make sure you apply your moisturizer, like Mommy Coddling All Over Lotion or Essence Hand and Body Soother. And then on top of that, you would apply your virgin coconut oil and maybe even the Boo Balm to really be an occlusive and try to lock in that moisture. This is really important if you spend a lot of time in the pool and or if working out is causing your very, very dry skin or eczematous skin or psoriatic skin to get drier, more cracked, to compromise that barrier even further. And we have a video of eczema, taking care of eczema, that shares a nice overnight hydration treatment, intensive moisturization treatment that has virgin coconut oil, then boo-boo balm, wrapped and occluded and stayed and kept on overnight, which is really, really nice. Sunscreen. So especially if you're a triathlete, a golfer, someone who does a lot of sport outdoors, a runner, Armada Sport 70 is by far our most beloved product for this. The American Academy of Dermatology says, and best guidelines really that we've seen everywhere, reapply your sun and light screen every hour or two, regardless of what the sunscreen says. Reapply it after water immersion, after a lot of sweating, regardless of what the sunscreen says. We test our products for waterproofing, especially Armada Sport. But even then, just because the skin is a biological thing and things change, when you're competing or training or running or whatever, it is really best to reapply every 1 to 2 hours, and certainly wear sun protective clothing, hats, shirts, long-sleeved shirts, other protective gear, assuming of course you're not allergic, right? A lot of these things are made of stretchy fabrics and other materials that can be allergenic. And if you patch tested positive for dyes, that's something to look out for, is very bright colored clothing or black clothing. Maybe opt for light colored athletic gear, or white or uncolored completely. If for whatever reason you could not reapply your sunscreen and did get a bad burn, a great first aid tip is, if you're not allergic, to take an anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen. Please check with your doctor. If you're allergic, don't take it. Take something else. And then immediately do a cold compress on the burned areas with virgin coconut oil, and then apply our Red Better Calm the Heck Down balm. It's very, very helpful. Profuse sweating. I did a video on hyperhidrosis. Check that out on YouTube. But basically, you can use our Essence Antiperspirant or Essence Stay Freshener as often as you like. For people that are really, really sweaty, a great idea is to first apply Essence Antiperspirant or Essence Stay Freshener in the United States, and then Id Monolaurin Gel. And you can apply both products, Id Monolaurin Gel and Essence Antiperspirant or Stay Freshener, all over, underarms, but also the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet, but also those under and beneath areas I was talking about, under the bra, on the back, in between the thighs, on the backs of the thighs, anywhere that you feel, particularly sweaty or that you feel needs freshening up. So you can apply that throughout the day, repeat it throughout your workout as needed. And both Id Monolaurin Gel and Essence Antiperspirant have monolaurin to help with critter situation. If it's really become an issue so that you're already slipping and sliding all over the place, you can ask your doctor about getting Botox injections on the sweatiest areas of your skin, because it has proven to be quite effective and safe. But obviously check with your doctor to see if that's for you. Chafing is something that we hear a lot of. And chafing is basically friction, right, between areas of the skin. So if you're running, or even just between your bra or your underwear or the clothing that you're wearing and your skin, or on a bike seat, chafing is obviously really irritating, can be really painful, and can get to the point of abrasions and open wounds. So what you want to do is try to encourage slide. So you would put virgin coconut oil between the areas that tend to chafe, and maybe even boo-boo balm to try to encourage that slide to prevent the chafing. And after the chafing, use Red Better Calm the Heck Down balm and boo-boo balm to bring down that inflammation and prevent the darkening, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation that can follow the chafing. On actual wounds, let's say that chafing did result in an actual abrasion, or you were playing soccer, football, and you had a hard tackle and have a real, what do you call it? Raspberry, like a real scrape. Boo Boo Balm is definitely a wonderful option. My kids and I keep Boo Boo Balm in the gym bag forever because we use it on everything, right? Either the chafing issue or for any kinds of cuts or abrasions that, yeah, you might get in the course of working out or training or playing a game. For very sensitive skin, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but to repeat it, you definitely want to work out, but you do have to be wary. A patch test really is kind of your best friend here because there are so many materials in athletic gear that are not great for sensitive skin or allergic skin. So if you've patch tested positive to dyes and colorants, you really have to watch out for what you're wearing. Something like this would be ideal. It's very pale, not like this, which is black. So you want something either white or as pale as possible or as uncolored as possible. You also want stuff that is not stretchy, so which is difficult, right? Because most of the stuff made for athletics is really stretchy. Latex has a lot of stretch because it's performance apparel. That can be a problem if you are allergic to latex and rubber. This applies to socks too, which can be stretchy. There's a company called Cottonique.com that does make clothing specifically for clothing contact dermatitis that you might want to check out to see if they have underwear and socks and maybe even workout apparel that you can use. And all of this applies as well to your gear. Handles for your rackets or gym equipment, the handles of weights and like the elliptical machine or whatever it is you're using, a lot of those are really rubberized and have dyes. So that's an issue. Top allergen is acetophenone azine, found in EVA foam for a lot of protective gear, shin guards and things like that, helmet linings. Check for that. If you patch tested positive for that, you got to watch out for those foamy parts of protective athletic gear. Interesting things that you can try to protect yourself against those materials if you have patch tested positive to them. Try a white or uncolored, non-stretchy cotton cloth as a barrier between you and the elliptical handles or the bike handles, or as a barrier between you and that foam. Our Armada Baby or post-procedure barrier cream or stay on point barrier cream can also help because it's a physical barrier against your skin and those things. But yeah, don't let your skin concerns stand in the way of your getting fit because it is so important to really keep active throughout the day. Get up every 30 minutes to an hour or so and walk around every single day. Try to get something in for 30 to 45 minutes of walking or running or yoga. Or HIIT, dancing, whatever it is that makes you happy, but do it 7 days a week. It really is important for your entire body and for your skin. If you have any questions, any particular skin concerns that you're unsure of, that you think might be related to your working out or that you notice get worse with working out, drop us a question and we'll do our best to give you the best answer that we possibly can that's medically vetted and all this stuff, but certainly also ask your dermatologist. That's it. I hope this was helpful. Please like and share and comment and stuff. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Let us know what else you'd like to learn about. Thanks. Bye. Have a skintastic day.